Close your eyes for a moment and consider. What if the world you experience while awake is merely the surface of something far deeper? Every night, as you surrender to sleep, you cross into a hidden realm where time bends, physics dissolve, and the very fabric of reality becomes clay in your hands. This is no fantasy. This is the untapped potential of your dreaming mind. While once relegated to the fringes of consciousness studies, modern neuroscience is increasingly validating the potential and safety of lucid dreaming. Picture yourself standing in a valley where the grass sways to unheard music. The sky pulses between violet and gold, reacting to your emotions like a living canvas. Suddenly it hits you. This isn't real. But instead of waking, you laugh with giddy realization you're dreaming. With that awareness, you raise your hands, and the horizon splits open like a stage curtain, revealing a city of floating islands. This is lucid dreaming, your birthright as a conscious being. Have you ever experienced a dream with such a vivid and unexpected setting? Share your thoughts briefly. Why does society dismiss these nightly adventures as meaningless fiction? From childhood, we're conditioned to view sleep as an off switch. For consciousness, dreams as random neurological debris. But history tells a different story. Ancient Egyptian priests studied dream symbols as divine messages. Greek seekers slept in temples of Asclepius for healing visions. Tibetan monks practiced dream yoga to explore the nature of reality itself. Even modern pioneers like Nikola Tesla credited dreams with breakthrough inventions. His alternating current motor came to life in a vision of spinning sunlight. Last night you likely journeyed through incredible landscapes, had conversations with impossible beings, perhaps even flew over crystalline oceans, only to forget it all by breakfast. But what if you could remember? What if you could step forward in those dreams and shape them consciously? Consider the composer who hears symphonies in his sleep, the scientist who solves equations in her dreams, the trauma survivor who heals old wounds in a safe space where no real harm exists. Your dreaming mind is a workshop for creativity, theater for self-discovery, a laboratory where you can rehearse life's challenges without consequence. Yet most wander through this inner universe like sleepwalkers, never realizing they hold the keys to the kingdom. The first step isn't some complex ritual. It's simply paying attention. Those fragments you recall upon waking, the eerie déjà vu when a dream predicts next week's events, the mysterious figure who appears in multiple dreams, always trying to tell you something. These are breadcrumbs leading you toward lucidity. Tonight, as you drift to sleep, know this. Behind your closed eyelids lies a dimension where you can converse with your subconscious, confront fears as tangible creatures you can finally face, or simply dance across galaxies for the sheer joy of it. The doorway stands open every night. You need only choose to walk through. In the coming sections, we'll explore how to recognize that crucial moment when the dream world reveals its seams, how to stabilize those first thrilling seconds of lucidity before excitement wakes you, and how legendary one-aeronauts prolong their dream adventures for what feels like hours. But first, ask yourself, what would you create, discover, or transform if given unlimited access to your inner universe? The answer begins tonight. The street signs shimmer as you turn the corner into your childhood neighborhood, except the maple tree where you carved initials now towers 300 feet tall, its leaves whispering your secrets in reverse. Your pulse quickens, not from fear, but from a dawning realization. This impossible place feels more familiar than your waking home. A voice that is and isn't yours murmurs through the rustling leaves. You've always known how to find this place. Has a dream ever felt strangely familiar despite its impossibility? Share your thoughts briefly. Most mistake lucidity for control. They want to bend dreams to their will like gods playing with dollhouses. But the true power lies in becoming the perfect listener. Take the surgeon who kept dreaming of crumbling scalpels until she became lucid enough to ask why. The instruments transformed into her father's arthritic hands, the same hands that once steadied her bicycle, now too shaky to hold her newborn son. The dream wasn't mocking her skills, but revealing where her healing was needed most. Ancient traditions understood this dialogue. Tibetan monks trained for years to ask specific questions of their dream guides. Dagara children learned to bring dream wisdom to village councils. Modern brain scans reveal why this works. During conscious dreaming, our neural pathways bridge realms that typically stay separate. The amygdala whispers emotional truths that the prefrontal cortex normally censors. The temporal lobe serves memories we've consciously forgotten, but our body remembers perfectly. Those strange dream glitches, they're not errors but invitations. When text rewrites itself or mirrors show the wrong reflection, your psyche is waving semaphore flags. One man's recurring nightmare of malfunctioning elevators became his breakthrough when he noticed the buttons were always in Cyrillic, his subconscious reminding him of unresolved tensions from his Moscow internship. Tonight, as you cross into that other world where physics is optional but truth is compulsory, remember, every bizarre symbol is a hand, reaching across the divide. The faceless figure isn't chasing you. It's been waiting for you to finally turn and ask its name. The kitchen tiles undulate beneath your bare feet as the refrigerator's hum morphs into a childhood lullaby. Your fingers pass through the pendulum clock, and in that impossible moment, two realizations strike simultaneously. None of this exists, and all of this matters. Have you ever had that distinct feeling of dreamlike unreality, coupled with a sense of significance? Share your thoughts briefly. Your brain has performed its greatest magic trick. It fooled itself completely, then woke up mid-illusion. Neuroscientists have captured this precise moment on EEG monitors. During normal dreams, your prefrontal cortex, the skeptical scientist of your mind, takes a backseat. But in lucidity, it suddenly flares to life, while the rest of the brain remains immersed in the dreamscape. You become both subject and researcher in the most intimate experiment imaginable. Consider David, the retired pilot whose hands still dance across phantom instrument panels every night. His sleeping brain recreates cockpit vibrations so precise, they startle him awake. Yet what truly astonishes neurologists is how his waking reflexes sharpen after these dream flights. His neurons don't distinguish between real and imagined practice. The deeper mysteries defy easy explanation. That elderly woman who appeared in your dream last week, the one who knew about your secret pregnancy before you did, was she a neural construct or something more? Ancient dream yogis would call such figures nagas, eternal guides dwelling between worlds. Modern science might describe them as emergent properties of your subconscious. Both explanations feel inadequate when you're staring into their knowing eyes. Tonight's experiment is simple. As you drift off, imagine your mind as a vast laboratory. The beakers contain liquid memory. The equations on the chalkboard describe physics. And behind that locked door marked "Do Not Enter," that's where your subconscious prepares tomorrow's dreams. Tonight, you have the key. Next, the military's classified dream induction protocol, and why it works better than any civilian or technique. But first, when did you last check if you're truly awake? The technique emerged from a top-secret 1980s Pentagon program. Fighter pilots deprived of sleep for days began reporting an eerie phenomenon. They could continue mission rehearsals in their dreams with perfect clarity. When neurologists studied them, they discovered something revolutionary. These exhausted aviators had accidentally stumbled upon the most reliable lucidity trigger ever documented. Here's how it works. Set your alarm for 4:17 am, the precise midpoint of your sleep cycle when REM peaks. When it jars you awake, stay up for exactly 9 minutes, the magic window where your brain hovers between sleep and wakefulness. As you return to bed, repeat this phrase like a mantra. Next time I'm dreaming, I'll remember to look at my hands. Why hands? They're the dream world's telltale flaw. In dreams, fingers melt like wax or grow extra joints. The military found that this concrete anchor works better than abstract reality checks. One Special Forces operative reported counting 11 fingers during a mission rehearsal dream. The shock of recognition gave him 37 uninterrupted minutes of conscious flight time. But the true breakthrough came when researchers combined this with dream incubation. Before sleep, subjects visualize not just recognizing their dreaming, but performing specific actions, disarming bombs, performing surgery, even creative problem solving. The results were staggering: a 63% improvement in procedural tasks compared to waking practice alone. The implications ripple far beyond combat. A concert pianist using this method mastered Rachmaninoff's third in half the usual time. A stroke. Victim regained speech by practicing conversations in lucid dreams. Your brain, it turns out, learns fastest when unshackled from physical limits. Tonight's mission, should you choose to accept it, set the alarm. Endure those 9 minutes of groggy wakefulness, then return to sleep as both student and teacher. Of your mind. The classified documents don't mention this part. Sometimes the hands you examine in dreams belong to someone else entirely, reaching back. You felt them watching from the edges of your dreams. Shadow figures who vanish when you turn your head. Faceless teachers who test you with impossible tasks. These are the threshold guardians, and they hold the keys to deeper lucidity. Take the case of Miriam, a psychologist who kept encountering the same elderly woman in her dreams. The woman would press a key into Miriam's palm, whispering, "This opens what you've locked away." It wasn't until Miriam became lucid enough to examine the key that she recognized it. The exact shape of the one her childhood home's attic had, where her family stored their unspoken traumas. Neuroscience explains these figures as projections of the anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's conflict resolution center. Ancient traditions call them something else entirely, gatekeepers of the deeper dream realms. The truth likely lives somewhere in between. What matters is how you respond when they appear. The rules of engagement are simple but counterintuitive. Don't chase them. Their purpose is to make you follow, not capture, ask for nothing. Instead, offer what you're carrying. They always want the thing you've been clutching too tightly. Study their hands. The guardians themselves often don't know what they're guarding until you truly see them. Vietnam veteran I worked with had been haunted by a silent child in his dreams for decades. When he finally became lucid enough to kneel and offer the child his dog tags, the dream transformed into a memory he'd suppressed, the moment he'd given those same tags to a starving boy in Hugh City. The guardians don't block the path. They are the path. Tonight's assignment: carry something into your dreams. A coin, a photograph, a question written on paper. When you meet a guardian, don't speak. Simply extend your offering and watch what they reveal in exchange. The most profound dream messages come not from what you take, but what you're finally willing to surrender next. We'll explore the phenomenon of shared dreaming and the laboratory evidence suggesting some dreams might not be entirely your own. But first, when did you last check your pockets after waking? You've learned to recognize the signs. The way dream coffee tastes is more vivid than reality. The way clocks melt when stared at too long. But now comes the greatest revelation of all. What if you've been the doorway all along? Consider Dr. Elias's 2017 study at Stanford's sleep lab. Participants entered lucidity while wearing EEG caps, then deliberately tried to invite dream figures to share unknown information. The results still haunt the scientific community. One subject's dream guide recited a perfect Shakespearean sonnet, despite the participant never having read it. Another's deceased grandmother described the location of a missing family heirloom with pinpoint accuracy. The phenomenon has precedence. Indigenous Australian elders speak of dream tracks that connect all minds. Carl Jung documented shared symbols appearing simultaneously across continents. One modern quantum theorists whisper about non-local consciousness, But you don't need theories when you've stood in that space where the walls between self and other dissolve. There's a technique the Tibetan Buddhist tradition calls sky-gazing sleep. You lie on your back, visualizing your awareness expanding like mist, not seeking dreams but letting dreams seek you. Practitioners report meeting others in this state, holding conversations that continue upon waking. The laboratory proof remains elusive, but the experiential evidence piles up in private journals and midnight confessions. Your final assignment isn't a method but an invitation. Tonight, when lucidity comes, don't fly, don't create, don't explore, simply sit wherever. You find yourself, a dream park bench, a phantom library, an alien seashore, and wait. See who sits beside you. Notice what knowledge passes between you without words. The greatest secret of conscious dreaming isn't what you can do. It's what, or who, dreams through you when you stop doing altogether. This isn't an ending, but a different kind of beginning. The dreams continue, the conversations deepen, and somewhere beyond the veil of waking life, your other self is just now stirring, reaching for the notebook to record what you've just taught each other across the divide. Now, we'd love to hear about your dream journeys. Have you ever experienced a particularly vivid or meaningful dream? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's build a community of dream explorers. You've tasted the freedom of conscious creation within your dreams, encountered enigmatic guardians, and perhaps even begun to glimpse the interconnectedness of the dreaming mind. But beyond the landscapes and the encounters lies a powerful and often overlooked dimension, the raw and amplified emotions of the lucid dream. Think back to a moment of intense joy in a dream. The colors seemed brighter, the feeling more profound than waking happiness. Or perhaps a moment of fear, where the terror felt visceral and overwhelming. In lucid dreams, these emotional currents can be navigated consciously, offering a unique opportunity for self-understanding and even healing. One of the most striking aspects of lucid dream emotions is their amplification. Joy can become pure ecstasy, sorrow a crushing weight. This intensity arises because the filters of the waking mind, which often moderate our feelings, are less active in the dream state. However, with lucidity, you gain the awareness and the potential to navigate these powerful states. Consider the recurring nightmare, a landscape of fear that replays night after night. In a lucid dream, you are no longer a passive victim. You can turn to face the source of your fear, ask it questions, or even transform its form. This act of conscious confrontation within the safe space of your mind can have profound effects on your waking anxieties. Lucid dreaming also offers a unique arena for emotional exploration and rehearsal. Have you ever struggled with assertiveness in waking life? In a lucid dream, you can practice expressing yourself confidently without real-world consequences. The emotional feedback you receive within the dream, even if generated by your subconscious, can build inner resilience and change your waking responses. Furthermore, lucid dreams can be a powerful tool for healing emotional wounds. The subconscious often uses dream imagery to represent unresolved trauma. In a lucid dream, you can approach these representations with conscious awareness, offering compassion to wounded inner aspects or reframing past experiences in a safe and controlled environment. This isn't about forcing change, but about fostering understanding and integration. Tonight's exploration. When you become lucid, take a moment to scan your emotional landscape. What feelings are present? Approach them with curiosity rather than judgment. If a difficult emotion arises, can you simply observe it without being overwhelmed? Can you offer yourself comfort within the dream? The ability to consciously navigate your emotions in the dream world is a powerful step towards greater emotional mastery in your waking life. Next, we'll then move towards the final doorway, exploring the potential for interconnectedness and the profound experience of dreaming beyond the individual self. But first, what emotions tend to dominate your dreamscapes?